everybody, it's April and I am here today to share with you how to take a box from this to this. And actually this isn't my finished product. I have some other things to add to the sides of the boxes and the top. But a friend of mine was having a graduation party and both of her daughters were graduating from college. So she wanted a box for each daughter and she thought it would be fun to have a box for each college that they went to. So I started out with a paper mache box and ended up with a decorated box in their school colors. So let's get started. So I have this box. It's a little more than 8 inches across, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, it's like 8 3/4 across. And for me, the hardest part of making these boxes is cutting out the top. And I'm probably not doing it the most efficient way, but I'm going to share with you what I did. The first 2 boxes that I made, I struggled and then decided, wait a minute, I need a pattern or a plan. So I always like to start with the things I like the least and work towards the things I like doing the most. Kind of like eating. Things I don't like, of course that was when I was a kid, you know. Eat what you don't like first because you have to eat it, and then you get to eat what you do want at the end. Now I just eat whatever I want, but anyway, you get the idea. So I created this little pattern so that I wouldn't have to measure every time I got one of these lids and needed to cut it out. So I put the piece of paper down, I get my pencil, and then just trace where I'm going to cut. And I put tape around the edges of the opening just to make it a little more stronger. And then here I have the opening. So then I take my craft knife and I cut out the opening. It doesn't, when I do it, it never looks all that smooth. So, but I have a fix for that too. So you kind of move, or we're kind of moving towards the end of what I do, but when I get done cutting out the hole, then I find out what the school colors are in this particular case because I was creating boxes for graduation from college. I went out on the internet and found out what the school colors were. Wikipedia is really good about telling you what school colors are. And I paint. It just depends on what I'm going to cut out to decorate the box. And for this particular project, this is a high school graduation that I'm working on. For this particular project, I decided that I wanted the box black and I wanted the lid red. And in a minute when we put the final touches on it, you will see why. So I go ahead and spray paint, and I use Krylon Max. Sometimes I use Krylon Fusion, but normally I do use the Krylon brand of spray paint. So this is for a lid that I'm going to be painting, and I'll show you how I do that. So, fortunately it was sunny this weekend and I was able to paint my box lid. I don't paint the inside, I just leave it the way it is. And then on the lid, I use my Silhouette, and I actually saved this pattern so that in the future when I make more boxes, I just have to cut it out. And this hides my imperfections. So I'm going to glue this to the lid. And I'm kind of heavy-handed on my glue, which I shouldn't be. My favorite is the Scotch Quick Dry. I've put box cards together, and I find that this is really the fastest drying glue. I've tried others, and I'm most pleased with this one. So I'm going to flip it over and set it down. And then before I press, I'm going to make sure that it looks even on the inside. I like the way it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and press on the outside and get the glue to stick down. So my next step is to finish this portion of the box. So I've already spray painted the box in the color that I want, and the way that I picked out the color was when I was out on the internet finding the school colors, I also looked for the school mascot. And it just so happens that the majority of the mascot for this particular school is white, and their colors are white and black, even though there's some red in here, but I don't believe that was really one of their school colors. So based on the fact that there was a lot of white, I decided I wanted to paint the box black, and then I painted the lid red to match, to bring in some of this color. The way that I cut these out was I went into my Silhouette software and pulled the images in, did some tracing, and was able to cut them out. And this is what I came up with. So I cut them out, glued the pieces on, and then I put foam tape on the back, and I'm going to adhere them to the box. So I just do 2 sides, and I'm going to place him. I want to leave room for the lid. I'm going to place him here, and then just press it down. And then on the other side, okay, got all the foam tape off, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put it a little lower and try and center it. And there's my box. So there is the one side, and this is the other side. Now if you don't want to cut out the images, if you don't have a Silhouette or a cutting machine, or you don't want to use a cutting machine, then what you could do is print these images and cut around them. I would reinforce them maybe with a couple sheets of paper underneath just to give them a little weight. You could print them on a heavier cardstock. If you use foam tape, when you put the foam tape on the image, on the back of the image, it's going to stabilize it somewhat, and that's an option for you as well. You can cut around the image once you've printed it and get the same effect. Now, when you're spray painting, there are rules evidently, and I didn't follow them, but my husband shared them with me after I spray painted, but I still probably won't follow them. I was outside in the sun. You're not supposed to spray paint in the sun. You are supposed to find a shady area with no breeze. And one rule I do follow is you put on light coats of paint, not just one heavy coat of paint. So it's very important, please ignore my glamorous setup here. I take one of the garbage cans that we use to collect recycling, broken down cardboard boxes that are probably from HSN that have delivered my awesome goodies from Craft Day. And then I took a roll of duct tape and a phone book to prop up my lid so that I can spray paint. It's sunny. You shouldn't be painting out in the sun. The wind has died down, so I'm only breaking one rule. But you do want to shake up your paint really well. a test on your box, and then just slow, even strokes. And even though it doesn't look exactly this color yet, usually when it dries, it matches the lid color pretty well. Okay, so now you know how I spray paint the lids and how I spray paint the boxes. So let's finish decorating the other boxes that I have. This particular box I spray painted gray, and actually the lid outside is what I was spray painting for this box. And I cut out this logo. So what I'll be doing is, so that's that box. I'll put this on in a minute. And I have another box, and this one I chose black because the logo is a lot of white and some yellow. So the lid will be yellow. And there's that one. Now let me show you the card. So what I did for the black box with the yellow, because the person that I made it for requested that she have a card, I just took the logo that I cut out and just shrank it to be smaller. It's the same thing that I put on the box, but just in a card size. And then I'm going to add these enamel dots. And then I have a graduation cap that I cut out that I'm going to put on the general's head. So, there he is, the mascot with the graduation cap on. And then I have different insides. I have congratulations, or happy graduation, or just blank, depending on what she wants to say on the inside of the card. I am most comfortable with the Silhouette software as far as bringing images in and cutting them out and that, but you can use your Cricut Explore, you can use whatever. I know there are lots of other types of machines out there that cut paper, or again you could print. You can find the logo of the school for the graduate you're creating this for out on the internet and print that and just cut around it, make a pretty, a nice clean cut around your image, just like if you were to outline it or offset it on your cutting software. And you can do the same type of box even if you don't cut out the different logos with the different pieces of paper. The options are endless. I plan on next doing a box for a baby shower, and I'm going to use the print and cut feature on the Silhouette in order to create the images to go around the box. So when I do that, I will definitely show you how I did it. I hope that you got some ideas, and have a great day.